Hi, I'm the Messenger. Welcome to my new video. This time I want to show off my inner city build. Schladnitz is centered around its cathedral and the main square. The cathedral itself was turned into a procedural object, but hides a block service high school, so I still get people using the main gate. There are lots of invisible pedestrian paths around the cathedral and on main square, so Sims can use the place. And I try to place different points of interest around to get them to walk here. Like the high school hidden in the cathedral, a nearby metro station, or that some of the benches are parks that attract visitors. That's the metro station with some bike stands. Right next to it is a permanent market, famous for its delicious foods. They even sell flowers. I love those market props. Just look at them. Aren't they great? There is a cafe and an ice cream shop. Those tables here are small parks in their own right and attract visitors. In the middle of Main Square is a large fountain, framed by two statues. The statues represent a famous regent and his wife. As often in Habsburg Austria, their marriage was a dynastic one. Nonetheless, they always treated each other with respect, like hiding their spouses from publicity, and had a successful reign together. The statues are at eye level to each other. Legend has it he was like, "Of course she needs a bigger pedestal. I want to be able to look her in the eyes, and I'm on a horse after all." This fountain really shines at night. I did a tutorial on how to build and animate a fountain like this with procedural objects. It will be linked in the description. I really like how the people walk through this little park and market, using all my hidden pathways. At the back of the cathedral, they uncovered some Roman ruins and decided to keep them as an archaeological display. I used a clipping network to create a hole, some walls, surfaces, decals and weeds to fill the hole. On two sides, the road around the inner city is a redecorated 6-lane tram road. Most of the time, I blocked cars from the outer lanes and decorated them as parking spaces. I can switch back to 3 lanes at junctions easily. As parking is only decorative, I can do some funny details like sloppy parkers. The last block here raises up a bit, so it can bridge the river and the quay. There are some stairs with a hidden path to connect the two levels, and a small music club under the bridge. The third side of this inner city has a tree-lined road. I think it fits well with the parliament and the old bridge. On the fourth side, the inner city is framed by a quay. There are pedestrian and bike paths on top and below of it. At bridges, I use those stair props and hit invisible bars in there to connect everything up. Next to the main square, there is this big public area built into the quay. They use it for different festivals during the year. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's art, this week it's food. There are lots of hidden paths around the festival area and a lot of people attractors, like tables, benches and sometimes just spots to stand around, are parks and attract visitors. Combined with waiting crowds built out of props, this looks well frequented. I spent quite some time doing this construction site and I'm very happy how it turned out. So let me show you some details. The crane is slowly rotating. It's made up out of 2 copies of the same crane. I used procedural objects to remove the still part from one copy and the rotating part from the other. Then I put them on top of each other and made the upper arm rotate with the rotation module. The scaffolding is a great prop to play around with procedural objects. The parts are unfused. You can edit nearly every single part without influencing the rest, like making ladders steeper or removing them, or to make corner pieces fit. The windows in the wall props were too small, so I enlarged them. Those at ground level even to shopfront size, and then I bolted them up with plywood. They are pouring concrete right now. That floor should be finished soon. There is a new delivery of wall segments waiting next to the crane. Crane, truck and concrete pump are blocking half of the streets, so I use Traffic Manager to block traffic and parking from the decorated area. Here we have some debris protection for pedestrians under the crane. People will walk under it. Right across the street is this beautiful church and a park, which makes for a nice amount of pedestrians in this area. The inner city is quite bikeable. There is a bike path circling around it and a couple of paths or lanes that go into or through the inner city. All my bike paths are customized. The path itself is a base game bike path without decorations. An asphalt network on top, both shrunk to 3 meters with node controller and framed by curb networks on both sides. Crossings are decorated with decals and surfaces. In an attempt to make it look more interesting, I tried to use different roads and to let roads sometimes intersect a bit off center. Whenever I used basic roads, I put in those parking space defining sidewalk extensions and some parking lane street markings, all with intersection marking tool. There are many small details around, like the parking here. Some small cafe, paths leading through archways so people can shortcut, or a statue where people will sit on the small wall and enjoy the sun. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I hope you liked the view.